Type 5 heavy and mouse is the first two picks. You know, are things, but Jack's AFK's lineup's pretty freaking standard. Except for the
I
bat
would say
chat,
the bat
maybe.
chat is kind of interesting.
Yeah, they don't normally run that. But anyway, we're going into the first round of the first match of the last day of the second round robin. Oh my goodness. Jack is AFK, bringing a 113 and IS 460 TP, Super Conqueror, Bat Chat, and E3 Burbology. Mouse, 277 CS, double VZ, and a Type 5 Heavy. So, Type 5 Heavy nowadays, Smiley, has seen some changes over the last 4 years or so, since it was
nerfs?
relevant.
I mean, it does. I think it got actually. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I think it actually recently got buffed. Like the AP pen got a little bit buffed on it, if I remember right. For like the small, like the non-HE gun.
Because it's hard to nerf it anymore, I guess. But
It
back
has
in
like
the
it
HE
has something
days, it
weird.
was awful.
I think it has something
I mean, it was
weird.
good, but awful.
Yeah, I think it has a weird pen. I don't know if I'm right on this or not. It's either 282 or 292. It's a weird AP pen number.
And it's double AP shells. Yeah, it is odd. It's a very low value, like relatively speaking, but it's still a high caliber.
Try to get some 8-line vision there. Took a shot from either Captain Jack or Floppy. Probably Captain Jack.
Check out Coma. Coma's at D4 in an E3. We don't see that particularly often. And yeah, good point on the CS that always goes Hill is not Hill this time. And Kenway taking shots at Vary's in an IS4 here now. We've seen IS7s played here. IS4s can play here, but the turret being buffed and stuff, it is beefier, more HP there, but the IS7's armor profile is still better. But if you get an IS4 in there for free, I gotta think it's good. It's just an E3 component, but there is no E3.
I guess an IS4 would take like a couple more hits to, if they're trying to pick it. The armor profile is a little bit trollier too if you're trying to pick it. Like you actually... because I feel like an IS7 shoulder is way bigger than an IS4 lower plate, just off the top of my head. You know what I mean? Because the shoulders actually because the shoulders actually got penned on the, buffed on the IS4. So something like a VZ might actually have a little bit of harder time. It's not gonna be as consistent, but it looks like they are kind of have this really slow mouse Type 5 play. I don't really know what the ultimate goal of this is, because the way Jack is set up, it's kind of countering the Type 5 mouse movements, right? Which is really
they can't get in a fight right now because it's almost like, remember when teams traditionally put on the north cap pressure against the turtle that Jack is AFK does, and then they would set up heavy tanks in the south to try to be catching the flex movements? Problem, is Burbology are setting up for that, but Jack's AFK isn't looking to flex out. They've already have 2 tanks on the 8 line. They're not worried about it. And now the mouse and Type 5 are just kind of like, well, we have to figure out how to push. So they're going to, I guess, try to sandwich this 8 line. Supernova now doing some side scraping. Bouncing a shot from the 60 TP. Captain Jack holding his shot. He stares at Supernova knowing that this is not going to pen. But soon, behind him is going to get a little bit more dangerous.
And they're going to get pinched here soon, maybe. He's looking to get another shot into Nova. Takes a snap. It does not connect. Floppy looking to poke on, get some damage into the Type.
And the Super Conqueror does get a shot into the VZ from A5. And now the Bat Chat played by Brett is starting to swing that way as well.
Ooh, Floppy taking hits from everybody trying to get cross and get safe. I think they're trying to get on the same lane so that Coma can help them.
Yeah, Floppy's gonna die here, but he's just trying to live as long as possible now. Brett's gonna get a chance to dump his shells. Ooh, but he takes a lot of damage in return. He takes more damage in return than he was just now able to dish
and
out.
now
Muscles, as we've seen, is just gonna run him down.
Yep.
His Muscles cannot die to the Bat Chat unless he gets like a double fire or something like that.
But the Super Conqueror's coming. Him and he has told oh, wow!
What a tag team play by Brett and Oxen. Brett's 12 HP. Daniel said that's exactly how I planned it. Floppy's still alive. October trying to pen and he gets the pick. HP even. Dead even.
Even with them having a mouse and Type 5, that basically means that they're losing. Especially because the 12, like what would we said before? A one-shot bat's still a one-shot bat, right? It's still bat chat.
He's still gonna sit there waiting for someone to fire and then dump his clip as much as he can. And Coma
looks like Coma's just gonna
mouse.
Probably just gonna take a shot, but it'll be worth it because he'll be able to farm these guys from behind. Captain Jack on 1 HP. Ooh. Coma looking to turn here and probably get a shot into the Type 5 so that Ox can finish him.
Easy
there we go.
Shot.
Now he has one shot for Ox. Oh my goodness. I think the mouse got a shot into the window on him.
I think he did too.
Because I don't.
He absolutely did.
Because I don't think Kenway poked that. I didn't see Kenway poke that. Because Kenway's trying to fight Kenway's been 1v1ing Ox right here.
He absolutely did get the shot through the window. And Very's now arriving full health. He's the majority of the HP, and there's only 3 guns alive. He has to fight this mouse off. And that is, I mean, he can win this in a 1v1. Ooh, shot getting flubbed a little bit, but he's got to make it quick. Because now he's going to get the kill on the E3. This is not looking good for Burbology, though, still, because that mouse is not going to win that fight. And
the fact that Coma got safe means that that's
they're
going to
win.
Yeah.
They're going to win, but it looks like it could be worse. And yeah, December now on fire.
Oh, look at that fire!
I think that December just had to fight the IS-4, but it's neither here nor there. There's still
2 fires! Was that 2 fires?
I think so.
That's insane. That's some EU RNG.
Now everyone here is a 2-shot to the IS-4, so Nova can just go out, dump his clip, and not fear death. And they finish it off, and Burbology with an unorthodox attack, managing to pull it out. JackasAFK just kind of getting... They were too split, and that 8 line just got pinched. We saw it get pinched, and even with that impressive play from Brett and Ox to pick that CS, it still wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, Nova getting those shots off on Brett kind of sealed the deal for that, because Brett, 12 HP, kind of wasn't able to kind of get any more shots off after that. Is what it seems like, which makes sense. Well, it seems like he got some more shots off, actually, because that was his first clip, and he did get 2k damage. So he did get a couple more shots off.
Maybe got another shot or 2 off, yeah.
I think it was mainly just the bleed from Coma and Floppy. Like, Floppy had to do what he did, but it still was so much HP gone, right? And so it was hard for them to receive a push because it was just a 113.
Yeah, it was if you're gonna do the 8-line defense, you absolutely can, and you can do it with the IS-4 over there in that burn, but I think they needed some other pieces around, like even an E3 instead of Brett's Batchat, ironically, could have anchored that lane a little better, but maybe not actually. They needed another gun. They needed something else over there to help to lay down like some cover. I don't know, or they just needed to leave because they didn't have control of the 0 line, and that just became a problem. And yeah, a mouse at a Type 5 just not the mouse, but the Type 5 just kind of pushed up that 8 line.
True.
That's I didn't expect that to happen successfully. As successfully as it did, but I mean, Major Pain doing 3,000 damage in a Type 5. I'm a little more speechless about that because it was... I expected muscles once that engagement happened. Once he was able to pick the Batchat, but if it didn't go like it did, it was basically over. But I think just some of those little things made it look a lot closer than it actually was.
Okay.
Because I think Burbology had a pretty significant advantage.
Yeah. I think so too. Vervi getting like 4,300 damage off there, and I think it was mainly just the crossing shots on the mouse and the Type. It wasn't really, it was kind of funny seeing an IS-4 try to block mouse. That was really interesting, seeing that horsepower to ton ratio fight.
It was also awkward. A 60 TP and a 113 anchoring the 8 line. It's like you have 2 very different tanks that are like, one's really fast and one's really not.
Right.
And it makes me wonder some of the positions and stuff of like,
I think they were
do you want to be fast and run, or do you want to be heavy and hold?
I wonder if it was just like an alpha DPM like duo is what they want.
Could be.
The 113, has the DPM, and then, Floppy has the alpha. Because if you do 260 TPs, right? and let's say one of them low rolls, then the guy that can shoot you twice or maybe 3 times for your shot is left at 50 HP, right? You see what I'm saying? So it
I
could be
just think it
something.
is they couldn't
like
run
that.
away.
Right.
And the 60 TP had already crossed the 8 line. He'd gone to the far
True.
side. So then he had to cross back in front of all of those guns. And it just, yeah, I don't know. I think that defense is still fine. It just needs a couple of tweaks to reactions and maybe reactions to the mouse type 5 in particular. Maybe change the way some of it goes. But I like Jack's AFK kind of playing a little bit differently than they normally do on that map, just to even just put themselves in uncomfortable positions they're not typically used to, because they can always fall back on their traditional defense. But we're going into tank picks on the next round. Yep. Burbology getting the win with the Type 5 mouse. Jack's AFK running up a 50B and IS4. Burbology, let's see how many Type 5s are going to bring this time. Let's go. None. Double IS4, E100, E3. I think that's a solid initial pick.
You're ahead of me. Hold on.
Oh, I am?
Yeah.
When we get into game, I'll...
No, I think
go through the
it just said
like
it wasn't live. Yeah.
Oh.
I can refresh it real quick.
So IS4, both teams bringing double IS4, something that was not done at the beginning of the season, and we keep talking about it. I think it's something we're going to see more and more.
Didn't we talk about it was just going to be, it's going to be, oh yeah, we were like, oh, that's meta, because it's 2900 HP. It goes 44, I think is what people have said. Also, the Type 5 had 290 pen, which is actually hilarious, because I'm currently trying to 3-mark the AMX M4 54, and that only has 280.
But yeah, that was the era of those tanks coming out, and they were like, we're just going to lower the gold pen on these. And then also the Type 5 had the freaking HE gun, though.
Yeah,
and it was
because
just
that's
like, well, what's the point of the AP?
Yeah, wasn't that the same era that like the TVP was introduced? That's why it also has weak heat.
AMX 30B, yep. Same exact thing. And then, yeah, the Type 5 HE gun kind of got changed. And then it was like, oh, wow. Yeah, going to the second round on Himmelsdorf. No Wally. We didn't mention that before, but we talked about it in the pregame. So it could be, again, just maybe teams just rotating people in and out. It could be a change altogether. We're unsure. This is just the last match of the regular season. This isn't the postseason. And it's also the second time we've seen Brett and Ox playing on the same night, and that has not happened a lot this season either. I think throughout the middle, it was always like either one or the other, and sometimes neither. Floppy going to his spot.
If Jack is AFK, blind fired him. Oh, man. Just starts having PTSD.
Did we ever talk to? I didn't actually ask Dodo with them. Did you talk to any of them about if was it blinds or he was lit by the IS4?
No. Luke's in my chat though.
Let us know, guys, if you could at some point. Here comes Barry up the hill, very slowly, bringing 8 HE shells. I like that a little bit more than some of the other loadouts, bringing less. Like, you want to just have a couple. 19 APCR is more than enough. A lot of Jack's AFK's play on this map on attack is very hill-centric. You can see the Ice Force are doing a delayed play, maybe into the 4 line. Maybe they're just going to go K line, but maybe they're going to go courtyard.
Right.
They typically a lot of the times they go over the hill. They just like playing on that half of the map a lot more than playing 1-2 outright.
Oh, 617, 616, 615.
Yeah, I'm 13, 12, 11. I think we're like 1 second off at that. Okay, we're perfect.
10, 9, 8. Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Drops should be enabled for you guys. I see it as working. Just as a heads up. So they should be working. Just make sure that
December had the big gun too, right?
I did not actually check.
I think he had the big gun.
Was he one of those that was tended? Ox is taking a lot of punishment.
I think he thought that he had the small gun to be like, oh, I have to get out of. I mean, he had to get out of there at that point, but.
Ox taking that awkward route over there as they call to pick and go through courtyard and just getting absolutely demolished. They're trying to pick that ice. I'm looking at
100 gets a hit again.
He's just like, I'm out of here. I don't need to be picked. And now look at Jack and AFK. They bled so much HP and they're still chasing him. This is another reason why an i7 can be good, is for this exact situation. That this is something it can do that IS-4 probably couldn't do. But Jack is AFK just got a little bit outplayed there. And this round is all but over now.
True. Dark said our 50B shot him out of render, but he was lit.
Ah, okay. That's what we thought, because we thought the IS-4 had spotted him with his optics loadout. So just, I think, a miscommunication, because it was, let's go pick him, and Ox was on the 8 line in this 50B, and in order for him to go there, he needed to go south and go around safely. He can't cross the 5 line. He has to go 4 line into courtyard if he's going to do that.
Especially because I think they used, like, OP as bait, you know, into
that E100 can still, that E100 from his position at C6 can still shoot them as they come into the 4 line.
Yep.
But if they're all the way back at A5, they can't. But yeah, I like this from Burbology. I like that flexing, because you say Burbology, you don't think like Himmelsdorf. And maybe maybe they've been practicing it a little bit more, because that was a very comfortable rotation.
That was very comfy.
I really liked seeing that.
I think isn't this like the first time? I feel like this is the first time we've seen OP and Nova play together as well. Because what I've noticed, because what I've noticed is like, Nova has usually always been busy, or OP's been busy. I know for a fact it's like probably one of the first times we've seen OP, Octo, and Nova together. Because I remember a couple of nights ago, I think it might have even been last week, where OP was calling for them because Octo was gone. And I think maybe Nova was playing at that point. Or they might have had their other reserve playing. I think it was like Potato. I think Potato was playing. It was like OP, Potato, Octo, and Nova were gone.
Did you see that shot from Nova onto Ferry? And Ox does go down on the other side. That was very... I mean, it's not particularly close round, but in a closer round, those little things are very important. And Nova tends to give you those type of shots. Those thin ones. He's always really ready for them and prepared. And yeah, Jack Zafke, I think, realizing this is do or die, let's just go up the 8 line. It's pretty much done. It's pretty much done.
They took so much bleed early game. Look at Nova.
Yeah, Nova's a very isolated pick, but there will take a lot of bleed as Captain Jack and Anthony take damage.
He was
going
like,
up the A
he
line.
knew. He was like, you Floppy, you thought you were gonna flank me, bro?
And now they're going to get the pick on him. The IS-7, IS-4, they all need to kind of get in there. Nova is, though, like that push-up did... Oh, that's a heads-up play just to make it where you can't get that extra shot out. Now the HP's a little bit closer.
I'm having Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah, Nova ended up really by himself during this. And it's been slow for Burbology to get there, and now there's potentially another pick. Maybe we called this too soon, because Jack and AFK are actually maybe pulling this out a little bit more.
Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Look at that fire, and he hasn't taken any bleed. Oh, there he goes. If you didn't take bleed from that, if you didn't take full bleed from that, it would have been really insane.
It looks like it's still too much HP to overcome, but the fact that that all is happening, I mean... Yeah, the IS-4's flexing super, like they're a little slow, but 3 are on the cap. As they come in here, Muscles will be able to get resets. Seed will not, because they are going to peel out and go for him with October covering. He is down to 683 with that double tap. October has to just stay out there and just make sure his shots are fully in, because he has to almost be driving in at this point, unless it's just disengage time. Down goes Muscles to Very, and now
yeah, but Floppy can't fight. He gets 2 heavies. As good as he thinks he is in the CS. As good as everybody thinks he's in the CS. You know?
Yeah. Credit to Jack AFK kind of showing, like, you know, we're down a lot, but you can make it a little bit closer.
Correct.
That was, I didn't expect it to be this close at all. Like, they were down, like, felt like 2 guns worth of HP.
I think they were like, what,
no real answer.
Almost 4K? Like, because the 50B got picked almost for free at that point.
Yeah, and they didn't even have, like, a position for it.
They also didn't bring a lot of HP. Their lineup was a lot lighter than... because of the 50B and the CS, right? because I think their lightest tank was what the E3. You know what I mean? They had a super conk.
Yeah. It's I'm kind of looking at the map picks. We're gonna go to Sand River after this, but it's kind of it would have been cool to see Ghost Town as the second map instead of the tiebreaker. That would have been cool to see.
You think so? For between these two teams?
Yeah, because I just want to see more of it. I feel like right now it's a very entertaining map to watch play. There's the post game stats. And we haven't seen enough of it. Oy. You give me them. Tell me them high numbers, Smiley.
Floppy with 4,100, Vervi with 39. You have Muscles over there with 42 hundo in the super conk. And coming in second was like Octo with December barely in third. But Major Pain actually picking up 3 of the 6 kills, giving him almost top fantasy points and actually in second fantasy points on their team. But Vervi actually and Floppy were the better fantasy picks for this specific match because they both got almost 4k damage with kills.
And Very taking that initial shot from Nova in order to get into position too, showing like even though he was down HP, he was alive till the end, and he was kind of the spearhead of that push on the B line going into the cap. Very's another player. Like, he came in, I think, in the first roster change. He hadn't been on a team yet at that point, and been a consistent performer, improving week to week, and just kind of slid himself into just being a mainstay. I don't think there's been a round that he hasn't started.
Because Ox and OP are a lot picked a lot. A good percentage pick them both, and they both did sub.
I think I picked Ox.
They both did sub.
I think I picked Ox and Muscles today. Ox, I need you to do better, buddy.
He's like, never.